Hello, good people. How's everyone doing? I trust that everyone is doing well, having a good life, enjoying a good weekend, first weekend of this new year. Anyway, let's get into it. If you will, please hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. I would greatly appreciate your support. Excuse me. With that being said, thoughts that I had on my mind for the evening and what I want to discuss. Sale, clearance sale. Uh, we all know what sales are. I personally now, when my wife and I travel, I like to go and stop at the outlet store. I like to try to catch the Nike outlet. Catch the Nike outlet, they always have some Jordans on sale, right? Because I like Jordan now, but I don't like paying 150, 160, 180 and up for my shoe wear. That just don't make sense to me. I can have better purposes to put my money to better use for. But I like the shoes. So with that being said, I'll stop when I'm out of town, whether it be Atlanta, Myrtle Beach, Orlando, Jacksonville, whatever the case may be. I'll stop, I'll go in, I'll check if they have multiple outlets. I'll go by multiple outlets and check them out. And I've found Jordans on sale from 99 down to 49. My son always gets on my case, and when he see them, he'll say, "Dad, these things are like 4 generations old." Matters not to me. I just matter about the look, design, and color. If that appeals to me, if I see it's a pair that I've been waiting to drop, if I see it's a pair that match the outfit that I have use for that, I'll take advantage of the sale. Or I like to go into the polo store, and like this sweater here, for example. This sweater was $169. I bought it out of season. It wasn't cold. It was midsummer, and I was out of town, and they had a whole store sale. They had all apparel sale. I can't remember what it was. It was either 40 or 60% off, something like that. So they had the whole apparel on sale. I joined the text group, whatever. They have to sign up, text me to get text this number to get the discount for this store, what have you. And so I get that every week. So I had the store sale, discount sale. I had the discount sale on my phone code, and then I'm a veteran, so I got the military discount. So sweater was 169. I got it for 29. I said, wow. Once I did the math so I can get it for 29, I said, let me see what other colors they got. So I ended up getting the black, I got the blue, and I had got a gray. Okay, now what am I talking about sales for? A clearance sale. Okay, when stock or crypto is on sale, um, can you identify what's it said? There is no sign say it's on sale. There's not going to be a clearance sign, but there will be when you look at a stock of crypto, you'll either see that it's in the red or it's in the green. Somewhere along the screen, along the way, it should say it should be a number tied to it, showing whether it's up 1%, 2%, or up 0.5%, or up 10%, or up 100%, or it'll say it'll be red and it'll be a negative sign saying 0.5% or 0.1% or 0.10% or whatever the case may be. So I get excited when I look and I see it's in the red. Then I'll glance over at the percentage rate. But most of the time, because I'm always saying get into the game of investing, well, when you're in it, you see things for yourself and you don't have to refer to a chart if you've already been watching something and you've already been desiring it and you're waiting on a good price. Again, I like Jordan. I have multiple pairs, but I catch them on sale. So one time I started adding them up and saying, how much? Oh, I got this for that. I got this. All right. So let me try to get where I'm going. I've said this multiple times. I started in March of 20. So in March of 20, I was watching, I started investing in dirt cheap stock, uh, energy stock, lowest 17 cent. But I saw Amazon, I started with Google. I'm sorry, I started with Robinhood, and it daily, at the end of the day, Monday through Friday, it would show you the top 10 performers, and then it would show you the top worst performers. So I would click on that article and read it, and it would show you the top 10 best performers, the top 10 worst performers. So from 2020 through 2022, I was watching Amazon because I wanted it, but it was like $3,800 a share. I was watching Google. I wanted it. It was $2,800 a share. I was just getting started in the game. My portfolio was only what I was putting in at the time. Couldn't afford those things, right? I said, maybe one day I can afford it. If not, hey, I won't lose no sleep over it. Well, I watched it those first 2 years while I was building my portfolio, and I seen it average from, seeing Amazon average from $3,800 to $2,800 a share. Amazon announced they were going to do a split. For some reason, they announced it ahead of time. So for some reason, let's say I watched it and it dropped from 38 down to like 28. That was probably, whatever. It dropped to 28. They announced they were going to be doing a split in X amount of time. I said, I'm going to watch this thing because I want it. Well, my portfolio was, at that point, it was 2 years in. I had a decent amount in my portfolio. I had 5 portfolios at the time. My Robinhood was one of my favorites. It was up there. So I sold some stuff. I was still adding to my portfolio week over week, which I still do. And so I sold some stock that had, done well. I had plenty of profit and sold some. And I bought a share of Amazon and patted myself on the back. Let's say a week or two later, it was down 200. Well, before they did their split, it dropped all the way down to 2,200. That was into 22, 23. I think it split in 23 or maybe 22, somewhere there about. I didn't look it up, but the point of the matter is that it dropped, right? It dropped all the way down to 2,200 the night before they split. So when they split, they just announced that they were going to be doing a 20-for-1 split. So at that time, I had 5 shares, okay? And it had dropped to 2,200. So the next day, 12:01, when I woke up the next morning, I wasn't up at 12:01, when I woke up the next morning, that Amazon grew from 5, and it automatically went from 5 times 20, so it went to 100. The price of the share dropped from 2,200 to 149. So you didn't make money at the time. You made opportunity. Opportunity was you now no longer have 5 shares. You now have 100 shares. Okay, so they gave you 20-for-1 because the 20 that they gave you added up to the 1 share that you had. So you didn't lose any money. Okay, and because they lowered the price, it was now affordable to many more people. Well, of course, the stock market was crashing. So over a period of time, I don't know how long. That's not the main thing. How long? The main thing, I watched it, and it fell down from 49 from the split down to $89. So I was still accumulating, or I was buying a little bit week over week. I don't know if I was dropping 100 in it or 200 in it. I don't know. I was either dropping money from my pocket and I was selling shares of other stock, picking up more of Amazon because I had been watching it for a long time and I really wanted it, right? Okay, let me try to speed it up. So my average price was going down as I continued to buy it. So when it went back from, and I don't know what was the time frame, didn't matter to me because my intent is to hold on to Amazon for a long time. That long time may be years, it may be decades. I will always have some Amazon, but anyway, when it went back from 89 back up to the 149 that it fell to when they first did the split, with the amount of shares that I had when it went back to that 149, I was up in crazy profits because of the amount that I had, and from the price from my average up to the current price it was at. And now we know Amazon is above there. Okay, no, Amazon hasn't gotten back up to 200 or 300 or 1,000. If it was once 3,800, it's not going to stay 89. It's not going to stay 149. And I care and I don't care, but I don't care how long it takes to get back up, but it's going to make money at some point. It's Amazon. And we all know what Amazon provides for the world. It's the want for Amazon is not going away no time soon. But I was using that example, talking about sales, clearance sales. You need to be able to identify what's a clearance sale in the stock market, what's a clearance sale in crypto. When Amazon was 3,800, Bitcoin was $68,000 a coin. Bitcoin fell as low probably about 8-9 months ago. I mean, I'm not sure of the timeline. I know for sure because I saw it. But Bitcoin fell as low as $16,900 or $999, something like that. Its all-time high was 68K. Now, when it comes to Bitcoin, you need to understand about the Bitcoin halving process. I've mentioned that before. Not going to talk about it. You can look it up for yourself. You can Google it. You can see what it's all about. Happens every 4 years. After it happens, over the next 12 months, Bitcoin always hit all-time new highs. The last all-time new high was 68K. The next all-time new high is supposed to be from 115 to 125. And you got folks been buying Bitcoin as low as 16.9. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone because I get on tangents. Last thing I'm gonna say before I get out of here. I say when I first started, I started with $100. And I figured through life experience, the world needs energy, the world needs water. So I went to the commodity energy and I searched. So when it first started, it was like up in the hundreds. So it came forward this. Hit the search button again, changed it from lowest to highest. Lowest to highest, I seen energy back at that time in 2020 as low as 1 cent. Robinhood at that time would show me about the company, it would show me the performance of the company, and when you go to buy, it would say not supported by Robinhood, which means I couldn't buy it on that platform, right? So as I was going through the list, once it got to like 9 cents, it was allowing me to buy it. I didn't buy anything at 9 cents. I was looking for names that I felt personally that would jingle in my ear. Don't ask me where I got that idea from, just different experience of life. So if I could find something that jingle in my ear, because with that price, it was like, it's not gonna be a company I never heard of, right? So when it got to 17 cents, I found a name that I thought was jingling in my ear, bought it, dropped $20 in it. Well, I didn't do the math, but it showed me for $20 at 17 cents was like 107 or 109 shares, something like that. I was proud of myself. Never had any stock before. I'm starting out with 107. That ain't bad. Go ahead with your bad stuff. So I found 2 other energies at 17 cents. So I had a total of 3 energies. Then I went to water. Found 2 waters at 17 cents. Wasn't looking for the 17 cents. Was looking for something cheap that jingles in my ear, and it just happened to settle on 17 cents when I found names that jingle in my ear. So put $20 into each one. Did that 3 days in a row. 3 days in a row, did $100. So that was it was a $300 pot into 5 different commodities, $20 a day. So $60 each position, right? So 3 weeks later, one of the waters went out of business, lost my $60. One of the energy companies went out of business, lost my $60. So from a $300 pot, I lost $120. In that same time period of 3 weeks, the other water that survived went to $2.01 a share. So $2.01 is not a lot of money. 17 cents is not a lot of money. But the difference between 17 cents and $2.01, even though it's not that much money, I had like 327 shares. So 327 times one, whatever that is, 185, somewhere thereby, was like a $500 profit for that position. So the water that survived made me $500 profit. The energy that survived went from 17 cents to $2.01 as well, $500 profit. The other energy that survived went to $3.01, $700 profit. So from $300 in 3 weeks, lost 120, and also from that same 300 in 3 weeks, made 1,700. So I guess you would say from 180, I made 1,700. Talking about the stock market and clearance sales is something you should look into. It's a tool, it's an avenue that you really should look into for your retirement. If you really get the hang of it, then you can look into it to build your wealth. You can look into it to build generational wealth. But you want to start with just getting in it and maybe using it to pad your 401k when it's time for retirement. And what should you invest in? My mentors, Larry Jones, I love. Stocks with Josh, Keenan Grace, Stock Mo, Stock Curry, Mommy Trader, Chris Sane, and there are a few others, but Jasper Reed, wow, great guy. But if you were a beginner just getting in, you want to be safe, then you could always get into VOO. That is an ETF. An ETF is like a bucket of stocks all in one. And so VOO would be a great stock to get into. Okay, it's not cheap, but there are fractional shares. You could put in $20 a week, $40 a week, $100 a week, whatever your budget, your pocket is comfortable with. VTI is another great ETF you could start with. But if you want to do a little research and get into the game, then I would have, my mentors, they recommend, if you like Nikes, if you like Jordans, then you should be buying Nike stock. If you going to Starbucks all the time, you should be buying Starbucks stocks. If you have Verizon, if your phone plan is on Verizon, then you should be buying Verizon stock. If you have an iPhone or iPad or a MacBook, then you should be buying Apple stock, and so on and so on and so on. And yes, those stocks are great. Disney stock is great. Amazon is a great stock. Google is a great stock. Nvidia is a great stock. Shopify is a great stock. I'm going to talk about that one day. I mean, I've talked about it plenty of times, but I'm going to talk about it because I really like it, and there have been great opportunities in it. Man, there's some other things I want to cover, but I can see I'm at 18 minutes, so I need to close out. But investing is a great avenue to grow your wealth. It's a great avenue to have a backup plan to your 401k, which is why I first got into it as a backup plan to my 401k. I knew my 401k would not be what I needed it to be by the time I turned 59 and a half due to life circumstances, situation, having to pull money out and what have you. But with what I've learned in the stock market and in finances since I've got into this game in 2020, I've been able to reposition my 401k, and it's performing pretty well. So with the 401k and with my personal 5 portfolios and the way things are going, gonna be a good retirement. Hopefully there'll be an early retirement. But anyway, hopefully I've said something to inspire you, to motivate you, to get up and get in the game. Get up and get in the game. one of the videos from my friend Larry Jones. Larry Jones had a video. It's old, and I put it on my page, my Facebook page from time to time. It says, "Get your butt out of the way," because he's just all about getting you in and growing your growing your financial wealth. But with that being said, you guys take care. And as I like to close, be blessed continually, my friend.